Oh, hey girl, hey, I'm back. Okay, so I was back before, like a couple months ago, but now I'm back again, and I'm going to tell you why. I know you're like, what is going on with her? She's all over the place. Or actually, I haven't been all over the place. I've been not in hiding, but sort of doing some life stuff. Life keeps life, and as we always say, right? I've been busy doing life stuff for the past 6 months. Some of it was I needed some time off just to focus and think what's next for Support is Sexy. We got to the end of 2021. I had done 801 episodes, so welcome to episode 802. I got into this new space of wanting to do a podcast or series around this idea of living the question, which if you read the book, Get Over I Got It, you know that's a chapter 7, I believe, with Patricia Moreno, who talks about living the question, may she rest in peace, which is a super powerful concept that, let me tell you right now so that I don't forget, if you want to know about and get that special series that I'm only doing for people who sign up for my text messages. So my text messages are going to be about living the question, this concept of living the question. So I have some folks who have already signed up. All you have to do is text live the question to 1-917-809-6764. Again, that's 1-917-809-6764. For those of you in the U.S. are like, why is she telling us to use the one? We already know that. Well, because your girl has listeners all around the world. I think we're at 130-something countries or something like that last time I checked. So we want to make sure everybody knows how to get in touch. 1-917-809-6764. Text Live the Question, and you can find out more about that podcast. Just for text message subscribers. I'm trying something new, doing that over there. Here, though, if you've been listening the past couple times, you know I did a couple of Live the Question podcasts here on Support is Sexy. And you know what? You know I keep it real with you. It got confusing. It got confusing to me. It got confusing to my team. It got confusing to my talent manager. Everybody was like, is it Support is Sexy? Is it Live the Question? You changed the picture. What does this mean? If I search Support is Sexy, Live the Question comes up. Sometimes, actually all the time for me, I don't know about you, but as an entrepreneur, all the time for me, I have to try it, feel it out, see if it's working, get some feedback from the people that I'm serving, not the haters, people that I'm serving or people on my team, and then decide, you know what, it's not working like that. It needs to work this other way. So that's what we did. So now you're listening to episode 802 of the Support is Sexy podcast, and we're getting back into the groove of these amazing interviews with women all around the world. Now, 500 and plus women were women entrepreneurs on the podcast. Now I'm changing it up a little bit, still speaking to super inspiring people, still focusing on women, even though I do have one special episode coming up. Just one, well, maybe the second, but one with Mark Jenkins, celebrity trainer who has been working out with me for 20 plus years, or I guess I've been working out with him for 20 plus years, who talks about some insider fitness secrets. I'm going to share that over the summer so you can hear that. But otherwise, we have some incredible women that I've already spoken to and interviewed because I do weekly interviews over on LinkedIn at Elaine Fluker. Nothing fancy, it's just my name, at Elaine Fluker. I do some interviews over there with incredible women. They're video interviews. It's great because it's interactive, unlike the podcast, but we all listen to content differently. I love books, but I love audiobooks even more because I can listen to them while I do things. So all that to say, no judgment, right? If you want to join the conversation, you go over to LinkedIn and I'll show you when our next LinkedIn Live conversations are coming up, or I'll keep you posted when the next ones are coming up. But I also share those episodes here on Support is Sexy podcast. I have in the past, I will in the future. So I'm just sharing with you what the whole setup is like around here. If you're new to the podcast, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Elaine Fluker, author of Get Over I Got It, which came out May 11, 2021. Can't believe it's been just over a year now. Started, and that was not started from, but inspired by my conversations here on the podcast on Support is Sexy, talking to, again, over 500 women who have shared with me their journeys of support, the role support played in their lives and in their success. So I started talking to more women, or as I talked to these women, I started seeing, you pick up trends after 500 or so conversations, and those became the book that is Get Over I Got It. And I talk about, quote unquote, I got it syndrome. Meaning every time somebody asks you if you need some support, some help, whatever version of that there is, your first response might be, I got it. It's okay, I got it. No, I got it. So the book is Get Over I Got It, because I want you to stop saying I got it and learn how to accept support, which is a form of self-care. I'm all about helping you as unapologetically ambitious women learn how to also practice radical self-care. So as much as you're going after it, I need you to be able to receive it. Going after it, receive it. We need to have both things happening here. Okay, so that's what this podcast is about. I talk about my personal experiences. As I said, I interview women entrepreneurs around the world, talk to other women now. We're going to talk to professional women or women who just have insight for us around this concept of support, inspiring stories. And as I said, I did let Mark sneak in there because I wanted to talk to him about some fitness stuff because health is wealth. Getting that together too. And maybe I'll talk to you a little bit more once I get it together of a fitness challenge that we might do on LinkedIn. But more on that later. Today, I wanted to give you an update of what we're going to do here on Support is Sexy so you can get back in the groove. Podcast episodes weekly, popping up every Tuesday. And just to tell you what's been going on with me, I mentioned personal stuff going on, some good, I will say some painful or just transitions. I'm a woman in my 40s and my parents had me when they were in their 40s. So my parents are probably older than most of the people my age. I was going to say the kids my age. I still think I'm a kid. The kids my age, my parents, thank God, are in their 90s. They're both 92. They're both adorable and funny, and everybody loves them on social media. We are going through some transitions. They just moved out of their home here in Georgia that they've been in for 30 plus years. I grew up in New York. They were in New York for 40 something years. Before that, Alabama. So they were in New York for a long time. Then they came down here in Georgia, and they stay in place when they move somewhere. So that was a big transition, just moving out of that home and into a beautiful independent living. So I always tell them this isn't a nursing home or a senior center or anything like that, even though if they needed that support, that's what we're going to do because I'm all about support. But this is an independent living community. It is amazing. It is in Decatur, Georgia. It is actually closer to where I live, 15 minutes away, which is such a blessing. So I can get over there when I have to. My thing is making sure that they're in an environment that's safe. So if I'm not here or even if I'm asleep at night and I don't hear my phone, there's a whole staff there that can take care of them. So that's what had started to become more important to me as time went on. So that took a lot of transition, and we're still going through that transition. They just moved April, so we're still getting used to it. We're learning how to take the transit over there, and we're doing a lot of things over there. So that was a lot, in addition to selling their home. And sadly, I have to report that during that time, actually, on the day we were moving my parents, moving van was there, and the personal care home where my aunt who had severe Alzheimer's at that point, she was getting sicker and sicker by the day. So I had to leave the movers at my house, my parents' house. My parents were sent off to breakfast with a friend of theirs. Like I said, it was a lot. And I went to where my aunt was and went to see her and or try to get the doctor. I'm not even going to go through it again. It's actually emotional just to relive it all. But it was a lot going on at that time. And 2 days later, after getting my parents moved, my aunt went into the hospital. She was in ICU for a week, and then she passed away. So then the next week, I was planning her funeral in the midst of getting everything else in order as much as possible. So it was a lot going on, and I will be honest, creatively or just emotionally, I just didn't have anything extra to give. Taking care of my parents, I'm all about family. My sister came in town from Carolina for a few days. I'm all about it, but sometimes you just got to stop everything if you can and go all in. And thank goodness, this is one of the reasons I built this kind of business. I didn't even know it at the time. I knew I wanted, everyone says they want freedom. Most people, freedom in their business or in their company or in their lives. Having a business like this where I could move things around or tell my assistant, okay, fix this, or Sarah, who's on my content team, let's do this, or take care of that, or I'm going to put you in touch with clients. And just having that flexibility, it's freedom, but it's also that flexibility to be able to take care of dire situations when needed was a big relief. Of course, I had some anxiety around not being able to do as much as I normally would do around the business or content or all these other things that were going on. But hey, this is why we work hard when we need to work hard, so we can play when we want to play, or we can handle the real business, the life business, when we need to. So I just want to share with you that's what was going on and why there were some gaps in me getting some new podcast episodes up, even after I published those Live the Questions ones. I think that was in March or so before things got crazy in April. But now we're back on track. God willing, we're going to keep going. I got some good ones already recorded for you. I'm about to upload them right now so you can have them on your feed every Tuesday, listening to Support is Sexy with, again, these fabulous women and a few good men that I'll interview over the next however long. I want to go to at least 1,000. What do you think? Do you think we can go to 1,000? I think we can. I'm pretty sure we can. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Let's go to 1,000 episodes and then we'll see. You know, like Oprah and Ellen and all these people, you get to a point where you evaluate and just say, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. One of the things, though, again, I want to make sure that you do know about. Please continue to be subscribed or subscribe now to Support a Sexy Podcast. Tell me what you want to hear, leave a review, all that good stuff. But also, if you are interested in Live the Question, this concept of living the question, I'm only sending that out via text messages. And to sign up for that, or to tell your friends to sign up for that, just text Live the Question to my phone number, 1-917-809-6764. Again, 1-917-809-6764. I'll make sure it's in the show notes here so you can see it there. But Live the Question, you'll get an automatic response from me. You know, I like to keep it real. You get an auto response from me that says, thank you so much for signing up. And then if you want to sign up for Live the Question, it may ask you to text again. But then after that, it's all me. I will be communicating with you directly. And not just outbound. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what you're thinking. You can also tell me any insight that you have on Support is Sexy. What are you working through? I don't want to say struggling with, working through in your business right now. What really matters to you? What are you working through in your life? I might not have the solutions, but I might have some suggestions, right? So just get in contact with me. I want to talk to you. I don't like doing this one-way thing anymore. I think that's what I was missing with the podcast towards the end of last year. I guess I was looking at how can I be more engaged with people so it feels, you know, two-way as opposed to me just talk, which I can certainly do, if you can't tell, certainly do on the mic and talk. But, you know, I want to hear from you. So let me know what you think. All right. So now letting you know next Tuesday, a new podcast episode will be coming your way. I think the first episode is going to be with Kristy Kuhl, who talks to us about women creating their side hustle. So did you know 50% of women now have side hustles, and it's growing and growing. And I have partnered with Kristy, who is on a mission to help 50 women create $5,000 or more additional each month in income. Okay? Additional $5,000 each month. She is on a mission to do that. She has the way to do it. I am working with her on doing it even for myself. She's part of a great health company that I will tell you more about as time goes on. And in fact, if you want to talk to me and Kristy and find out more, let me just tell you this. Go to refineyourhustle.com. refineyourhustle.com, and you can set up a 30-minute call with Kristy and I and hear more about it. It's not a sales pitch. It's just telling you what we're working on, what kind of things we're doing, how you can be involved if you want to. Because really, with everything I just mentioned and everything I talked about going through and looking at my business and where I am with content and how I want to interact with all of you, I'm refining my hustle. That is my theme, I think, for at least the second part of this year. Refine your hustle. I'm not running after it anymore. I was chasing a lot of it before, which got me a lot of it to where I am. Nothing's wrong with that. Of course, I'm all about ambition. But how can that look different for me at this stage of my life? It's not even this age, because thank God I feel great. But this stage of my life, what do I want it to look like? How do I diversify my income? How do I have multiple things that I care about going on? Like this health business I'm working on with Kristy. Live the Question, I think, is actually going to be the next book or podcast. Well, certainly the next podcast. I already talked to you about that, right? But the next book, or I don't know, it's just Live the Question is this idea that's really been floating around a lot for me since having the conversation for the book, actually since talking to Patricia Moreno about it in 2016. It was the first time we talked about it on an early episode of the podcast. But anyway, just refining my hustle. What does that look like now? I'm really thinking about that, and I hope you'll think about that too. So again, if you're actually interested, if you're a woman or anyone, I'm not even going to just say women. We are focusing especially on helping women because women have been so impacted by COVID and the job market. A lot of women are leaving work. A lot of women, even if they're staying in work, they're burning out and they're looking for other options. You're trying to refine your hustle. So go to refineyourhustle.com. It's a calendar. Set up 30 minutes. You can talk to Kristy and I. We don't have to talk the whole 30 minutes. We might go a little bit longer if that's needed and there's not another appointment after. But we're really helping women create $5,000 in additional income each month. That is the goal. She wants to do it for at least 50 women, and I am all in with her because, support is sexy. That is what we're all about around here. All right, so I know this was a lot. I wanted to get you updated before you hear the next episode. Know that we're jumping back in. It will be audio again from these live recordings that I do. Some of them will be just podcast episodes of me talking. We're just going to mix it up here, but the core, the intention is always going to be about supporting you on your journey to becoming the woman you want to become. All right, so I appreciate you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.